Committee, if I could ask everyone to please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And Madam Clerk, if you could please call the roll.
Mr. Glassball?
Here.
Mrs. Hildebrand? Here. Mrs. Hoskins?
Here.
Mr. Bob Jones?
Here.
Mr. Tony Jones?
Here.
Mrs. Shaw? And Joe Vento?
Here.
Okay.
And if you could call the calendar.
Tuesday, August 13th, 2019, there'll be a school committee business meeting. And Tuesday, August 27th, 2019, there'll be a school committee business meeting.
Thank you. Dr. Ajay, presentations or recognitions?
First I would like to, even though she is not here tonight, taking some well-earned vacation time, congratulate Dr. Humbert, our outgoing assistant superintendent. This is her last week officially in that role. I want to thank her for her 8 years of tremendous leadership in our district in the area of teaching and learning, and wish her well in her retirement. So, another completely unrelated topic. North Kingstown High School graduate Allie Riley, who is in the class of 2013, is a friend of my daughter's. She is a tremendous world-class rower and part of the Rhode Island Rams team, which recently won the A10 championship. And this past weekend, she was a gold medalist with the American team at the World Rowing Cup in Poland. And so that's for the that event was a mixed event, so it's 2 men and 2 women sculling. Last but certainly not least, I would like to introduce Mr. Eric Anderson. He is our choice for the North Kingstown High School Assistant Principal. Mr. Anderson has been a dean in South Kingstown High School and a math teacher at SK before that for many years. He's also been their high school football coach, and he is a former Rhode Island High School Football Coach of the Year. He had tremendous recommendations, all talking about his biggest asset being his really good relationships with students. And so we're really happy to have him on board as an assistant principal at North Kingstown High School with your approval, of course. And I would ask if we could bring that to the front of the agenda.
So with unanimous consent, if there are no objections, I would move items D7 and 9 forward for consideration at this time. There are no objections.
8 and 9.
No, sorry, 8 and 9. I circled 8 and 9. I said 7 and 9. Try it again. 8 and 9. Sorry about that. Thank you. So if I could have a motion to approve items D8 and 9 at this time. I have a motion.
Second.
I have a second. So motion Ms. Hoskins, second Ms. Hildebrand. Any discussion? I just add, as Dr. Ajay said, we're looking forward to having you on the team, and you come very well recommended. I wish you the best in your new role. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Congratulations.
Congratulations
so much.
Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you so much. Appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you. Next, we'll roll backwards to citizens' comments. Anyone like to speak? No? Okay. Thank you. Then next would be the superintendent's report.
I decided for the superintendent's report just to, talk very briefly about some rumors that I noticed were out there in the public, and people had even called in and asked about. And this has to do with the issues that have been happening in Warwick with their budgetary problems, and the concern from NK citizens and parents that there would be a huge influx from this of Warwick students who would want to come to North Kingstown High School. There are some Warwick students that come to North Kingstown High School to utilize our Career and Tech program. That is not going to be increasing at all since this Warwick crisis in the past week and through the summer. And that's simply because with the enrollment and with what we've already done for budgetary reasons, we're really at capacity with those programs and beyond those programs and our other classrooms. So there will not be this new wave of Warwick students coming in. Some have even asked if they can tuition into the North Kingstown School Department. We do not allow that in North Kingstown, like a private tuition type of thing. If they can apply and there's room can come into the Crarian Tech through the regular process, which means approval of their own school department, we're happy to do that. But at this point, even that would not expand us over the summer because we're at what we consider a capacity right now. So I just wanted to clear that up. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So next, moving on to routine items, if I could have a motion to seal the executive session minutes of June 25th, 2019.
So moved.
I have a motion from Mr. Tony Jones.
Second.
I have a second from Ms. Hoskins. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? That passes unanimously. And I can disclose that no votes were taken in our executive session this evening. On the consent agenda, we've already voted on D8 and 9. I'm going to exempt items D11 and D12. Do any other members have anything they'd like to exempt from the consent agenda?
B1 and 2, please.
D1 and...
B.
Oh, sorry, B.
Yep.
B. 1 and 2. Oh, got it. It's at the top. I didn't see it. B1 and 2.
Right on the fold.
Yeah, anyone else?
C4.
C4. Anything else? Okay, and I would ask for a motion to approve the non-exempted consent agenda items.
So moved.
I have a motion, Ms. Hoskins.
Second.
Second, Ms. Hildebrand. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimously. So for B1, I assume, Mr. Jones, you're going to abstain?
Yep.
Okay. So if I could have a motion to approve items B1 and B2.
So moved.
I have a motion, Ms. Hoskins, second, Mr. Robert Jones. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
One abstention.
One abstention. Next exempt item is item D4. Mr. Jones? Oh, sorry, C4. I wrote it down wrong again, sorry. C4.
I would make a motion to approve item C4 amended to make the not to exceed $40,000 instead of $50,000.
I have a motion from Mr. Jones. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Ms. Hoskins. And discussion. Mr. Jones?
Yeah, no, I appreciate the work the administration did to put this all together and the bid out, since the bids came in at $38,000 and change, and I appreciate that there may be some variance, but I would ask we, for now, cap it at $40,000 and have the superintendent come back to us on whether the remaining $10,000 needs to be spent on more athletic equipment, or there perhaps other initiatives that money could be diverted to. And I think that, still allows for the equipment to be purchased in a timely manner, but perhaps gives a little more options for the superintendent to present to the committee about where those funds could be spent.
Okay. Any other discussion?
Let's just like to fulfill just.
Dr. Zay?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
The committee is, so that works for me.
So maybe one of our good student presentations, say there's some funds that they could lobby the superintendent to try and put into action, or the athletic team scoop up more.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second, unless there's further discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is approved unanimously. I'm going to start with item D11. So I am going to make a motion. Let me get my notes. I have my notes on what I want to say here. For item D11, I'm going to make a motion, first of all, to approve the superintendent's merit per his contract, and that we allocate...
You're in D13, not 11.
There is no 13.
No.
Am I
D11.
looking at an old agenda? Okay, I'm sorry, Mr. Blasio.
That's okay.
I've got
No,
another
this time I
agenda.
had it right.
I'm sorry.
Last
I'm
times
sorry.
I didn't. No problem. All
If it
right.
was the merit to the school committee chair.
The one that you-
We don't
put us
get-
to you.
we don't get- there we go.
When items deleted.
All set?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I
Okay.
apologize.
So I'll start over. So a motion that we approve the superintendent's merit per his contract, and that we give the superintendent discretion to award the merit allocations to the eligible employees not to exceed the budgeted amount. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Any discussion?
I just think the usual, the superintendent just reports back.
Correct, if you could
Yes.
please report back to us with the final allocations.
Who seconded that vote? I'm sorry. Okay, thank you.
Sorry, I didn't say it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimously. And for item D12, I'm going to make a motion that we approve the superintendent's proposal to allocate $52,000 to the fiscal year 2020 non-union salary adjustments to be distributed at the superintendent's discretion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Ms. Hildebrand. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes unanimously. Item E, we're going to pull from the agenda at this time. So that leaves us with 2018-19 school budget,
Nothing?
2019-20 school budget,
Nothing?
CIP existing bond or future bonds.
No, sir.
How are we on the complex progress?
Yeah, actually, so far so good, knock on wood. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, this weather is not gonna help. Right now, we're on track. The contractor hasn't said anything, but we are hoping that the weather does not continue like this because it will be an issue at the very least for the track itself.
Because of the spraying and everything.
Yeah, it
good
needs to
weather.
cure, you got a couple of weeks and all that, but right now, we're still moving forward with the targeted timeframe, and no issues, knock on wood.
Next is item D.
Oh, sorry.
No, sorry. Sorry,
Mary,
what you're done.
were we doing the windows? Which other part of
The press box, we're changing out the front glass there, because you can't really see out of it, and we're doing the bathrooms. But there's no update on that, they haven't started that work yet. Those are smaller projects, and they probably won't start until after 4th of July.
Yeah, and then at the schools, were we
Floor
doing the
covering.
big projects?
We're
the
doing floor
covering?
covering at Stony Lane, Fishing Cove, and a very small area at Forest Park, and those are going really quickly. Stony Lane is going really fast. So that's gonna be great too. We anticipate for next summer planning for the windows at Davisville Middle School, which is gonna be a really big project that we really need to start planning now. And making a recommendation on air conditioning either on the second or probably the third floor. It's very unlikely that we can get both of those floors done in one summer. So we would come back to the school committee to update them that probably the third floor is what we'd be looking at. So far, reports on that pilot room, the bank of rooms that we did, when it was being used, it worked very well. There were a couple of issues that the contractor came back and fixed very quickly. So we think it's the system that we should consider going with, but it's just too much work to get done both floors in one summer. It's gonna be hard enough to get one floor done. That's why we have to start early and we have to order the equipment. It's always the equipment delays that slow everything down.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else? So next we have policy agenda item D1, which is policy NSBA, which we approve every year. That's the standing orders for the school nurses and health providers. If I could have a motion to approve item D1.
So moved.
I have a motion
Second. and
and a second. So motion Ms. Hoskin, second Ms. Hildebrand. Sorry, I think I had that backwards. No, I had it right. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimously. Any questions on the special reports? If not, we have reached the end of our agenda. I would ask for a motion to adjourn. I have a motion from
Second.
Ms. Hoskin, second Ms. Hildebrand. All those in favor? Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you very much.
Everyone, enjoy your July.